April 25th, 2011. This is Diehard Gamer Radio Show 107.
You are approaching the target of attack. Your mission starts now. Are you ready? The countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, go.
You are listening to Diehard Gamer Radio, the source for off-mainstream video game news and topics. And now, your hosts, Murdock, Brian, John, and Steve.
Just a couple more shots.
It's funnier than that.
You know, one of these days I'm going to actually get respect on this podcast, but I don't think it's going to happen today.
You should put it up for bid on eBay.
Yeah. Please respect my podcast. I'll draw you a picture.
Yeah.
Of a dick?
That's
Of a big
that's
phallus.
90% of the
Of
internet.
an erect phallus.
So I would need to distinguish it from every other phallus that's on the internet, and that's
That'd
not
be,
going to be the Photoshop.
You need a unique value proposition.
Oh, is that so?
Your phallus needs to have some sort of unique hash.
Ah. So we have Steve, John, and Brian. And now they're quiet.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Up next,
It's next week.
our interview with Brezhnev and wait. So anything we want to add before we start with the news here?
He will bury you.
Probably.
Yeah.
So first up, Best Buy to develop dedicated video game sales desks and clerks. Well, they might develop dedicated video game clerks too.
Not at the price they're paying.
Was it like $5.50?
I don't know. What's the minimum wage now?
$7.15?
No, it's up to $7.25, I think.
Okay. That's big money now.
Yay, inflation.
That's like $3.25 more than I started at minimum wage.
God, I don't remember what I started at. It had to be at least $5.
Mine was $4.25, I think.
Oh, God.
So
That was back in Minnesota, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Can't
Out there, they didn't need it to be that high, so.
money went a lot farther in
It's not
Minnesota
like-
because it was
it's
frozen.
not like it's in Abu Dhabi or something.
It's the India of America.
So what were you saying, John?
Can't they just like put the games on the shelf and like Metacritic rank?
Yeah.
And you just start at one end. And,
That would be faster. That's assuming that they
That's
can
just what we
actually
need to
read
give
Metacritic scores.
more power.
Yeah, that's like
That's
the
just what they need.
Is that like the Dewey Decimal at Best
Well, it's not
Buy?
even- It's not even going to be video game sales clerks. All it's going to be is like you just go there and they're going to be like, "Well, you want an extended service agreement?" That's basically what it's going to. That's what it's going to be.
But they get those nifty Game Geek shirts.
Of Game Geek. So, well, that's probably not too far from the truth, actually. So next up, the PSP Go is dead. So,
On arrival.
Go die, yeah.
yeah.
It was a DOA system.
So
that's
they
for sure.
ended production on the troubled download-only portable system.
Anybody want to take bets on how fast the next one dies?
Well, what is it now? Was it the PlayStation?
It's the Neo. It's named like the Neo Geo was. It was
The next generation portable, or
yeah. It's like the
It's like
Neo
the
portable.
PSP NG or something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
PSP overnight.
Yeah, it's PSP, DS, DHL, UPS,
The PSP with
FedEx.
with extra. I don't know.
Do the Japanese have a phobia of numbers?
I would
No.
guess so.
But they like to add like cool sounding things at the end of them. So numbers aren't that cool sounding.
Well,
But if
no,
you
they do
call
have
it,
a.
like-
You know what it is? Is that they don't want to have to look up the counting system for PSPs.
Well, they don't know.
Well,
So
that's the patent numbers, right?
that's higher math.
32.5.
There's a special kanji for it, and they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to look it up, and then they have to go to the archives.
Yeah. And it hasn't been used in about 700 years, so it's like the old style kanji that nobody can read anymore.
It's like going to the librarian in Red. Anybody see that movie?
No.
Yeah. Okay. That
Right.
joke's lost.
All right.
Eh.
All right.
Eh.
So next up, MDK2, which would interest Steve, because
Really? Does anybody do most of the target audience for this game even remember the first one?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm the target audience though.
That was a lot of minimum wage right there.
Oh,
I know.
jeez.
I was.
That came out.
I got the demo. The demo for that came out in like Computer Gaming Monthly in like 1995.
Hey, it was before what is it? Wild 9 came out.
Oh, Wild 9 was out in like 98. That was
Oh.
much later. That was one of the last games that came out on the PlayStation.
I
Last
thought it
ones
was.
I bought anyways.
Wasn't that one of Shiny's games? Earthworm Jim.
I don't think
I don't
so. I
remember.
thought Wild 9 was somebody else.
Huh.
I think it's still sealed.
Well, this will make a very
Looking at one.
exciting conversation.
I don't
The
think I
only
ever
thing that
opened
was
it.
really interesting about MDK back in the day was that sniper zoom was actually really useful. It was like the first game where sniper, other than like Golgo 13, which really wasn't sniper zoom. It's like, oh well, I have now changed the screen and now it's much bigger guy with our crosshair in front of it. You actually could zoom, and you could look at something in 3D and zoom in with your
You
scope
do
and
remember
see
the
it.
sniper scope in Golgo 13? That thing moved around like
Yeah, it was
no one's
horrible.
business.
It's like nobody taught Golgo 13 how to be a sniper.
Well, he
Well,
just didn't have
that's
the right
true.
drugs to slow his heart down.
Well, that
we
and he
learned
did.
that in Metal Gear Solid.
Wow. That and they were expecting Golgo 13 to be able to snipe with an NES controller. So not exactly.
Not intended use.
So, no opinion on MDK2, John?
Did they release the first one for WiiWare too? Or did
I
they
don't
just
think-
release the second one?
Well, they would probably have to find the code first and have to convert it from DOS. I don't know.
Wasn't MDK2 a DOS game too?
I think MDK2 is like a new property, right?
Well, MDK 1 came out for like Win 95.
Really?
Yeah. So
Did either one of them have actually a polygonal main character, or were both of them the sprite?
well, they were FPSs if I remember.
No, they were third person. But your
Hmm.
dude was like totally a sprite instead of actually being a whole model.
I don't know, I remember him being a
Well,
first person.
well,
I'll
we
go back
have
and
the
look.
internet. We could probably
Nope,
look it
no
up.
research on this podcast.
All right. So next up, The Last Guardian, Ico and Shadow of the Colossus Collection delayed for PS3, which would-
Shocking.
that's real big shock there. So I'm sure you're disappointed about playing Ico, not being able to play Ico in high def, right?
I'm sure that this will still beat Duke Nukem Forever to market.
So I don't know if you have any interest in that, Bri.
I'd pick it up just for The Last Guardian. I've got the other two on
Yeah.
PS2, but it'd be nice to be able to play them on the PS3. I don't have a backwards compatible.
Well,
one,
it'd be
so-
it will be nice if they do the European version of Ico, because that's
Yeah, that'd be totally awesome.
if they added that, then
Well,
it'd
you
be
could
worth
probably,
buying.
if this is a collection, it may be available in Europe, which means they may. Oh well, I guess it's not necessarily guaranteed that they use that version over there.
I would bet they would use the European version because that one came out significantly later than the US version.
So it would
But
be
had
easier
a
to
changed
program.
puzzle, a lightsaber, which wasn't in the original one, and a changed ending or extended ending.
But-
so it'd be cool stuff.
But
to
the
get,
chick still, talks crazy bitch, right?
unless you beat the game and play it again.
Oh, okay. So I'm sure that the American version of this will be coming out with significantly worse artwork than the Japanese or European versions.
Guaranteed.
So Sonic Generations announced just in time for fans to bitch.
I
So-
watched a demo of this. It actually looked kind of fun.
But are you wanting to go through the Sonic cycle again?
I'm just saying, I was actually slightly excited about it, but I don't know. We'll see.
Apparently, and
More
there's
so
been
than the last
rumblings
3
about
games.
this for a couple months now. But Sega, like, supposedly this month is gonna reveal a lot of crazy shit. Apparently, there's
They've
been
been coming
rumblings
up
about
with
it
some
for a while.
weird
If
remakes
it's not
of
if it's
stuff
not a
lately.
sequel to Space Harrier, I don't care.
We're gonna find out the Wii 2 is actually the second Dreamcast.
I don't know. It's weird. There's all sorts of weird like rumors going around about what Sega is up to this month, or not this month, but like May.
Huh.
So
That's
Cool.
just the E3 buzz. They're trying to drum up a bunch of crap.
it's
and
been
that-
going. It's been kind of lurking around since like December. I've been seeing people kind of mumbly talking about it here and there. I know they put out a crazy
They've been
ass
kinda quiet on their posts.
Vocaloid arcade game for Sega. They just put out, or they just rumored at it. They're gonna do like some release
Yeah,
of
I
it
saw
on the
that on
20th.
G4 TV this morning. That somebody tweeted about the Vocaloid.
That's
Yeah.
like a really weird thing for G4 TV to do, because who the hell cares about Vocaloid stuff on G4 TV?
Well, it's not it's not G4. It's people just tweeting on
Ah,
G4.
But come on, Alex Kidd, New Alex Kidd could be coming out.
I would be all
Quartet?
surprised. I bet you're gonna see a flood of their shit come out on the 3DS.
Yeah, Alien Syndrome 3D. Well, yeah, I would play that shit.
Actually, that'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see Earth Defense Force 2 came out on the PSP?
No, really.
Just got released last week. I saw
Awesome.
it on NCS's website. They have an ad hoc mode too, so you can play 2-player.
Huh. Although it really wouldn't be the same if it wasn't, co-op on the split screen.
Yeah.
Well, because the last one they did was the 360 one
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
with
played the
lots and
crap
lots
out
of
of that.
giant ant killing.
They've got a huge new assortment of bugs too.
Cool.
Looks very cool.
Are you gonna pick it up?
I was debating on it. I was actually gonna see if I could hit somebody up
It is going to
because
be
they have
it
they
is
have
going
a
to be an
special.
FPS on the PSP though.
Yeah, that's the only downside. But they had a special mode. It was like another $10 or $15, and you got a second copy of the game. It was like the buddy special or something. It was
Oh.
an actual release setup where you got 2 copies of the game.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool.
But it looks really
It
good.
may not be valid for people who do not have friends.
Well, yes.
Well, no, you're just supposed to buy 2 for yourself.
Oh, and play with yourself?
Play one set with your feet or something.
Yeah.
There are people that
Cut
will
yourself
tell-
in half, and that way that you don't know what your feet are going to do.
I don't think that works.
Yeah, I saw a girl take a Starburst wrapper and make an origami crane out of it with her tongue.
So while she was
I
tasting
think
the
like-
rainbow,
In-mouth cam or it didn't happen.
Yeah, it was just they showed her putting it in her mouth, and then she does it and pops it out of her mouth.
all right.
yeah.
So moving on, Uncharted 3: Drake's Deception, which would does Uncharted interest anyone?
I need to
I
finish
haven't
that first one.
played the first
sometime.
ones.
Did you like it?
You're really pressing, a pressing engagement there with that.
You know, there's a
Uncharted.
Super Mario Brothers 2 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, haven't gotten around to that one quite yet.
Oh.
Did anybody see that wedding proposal?
Oh, the Super Mario Brothers wedding proposal. Yeah,
that was hilarious.
I saw that on Kotaku, and then I raged. It's like, how dare they share their happiness with us?
Huh.
So that's how I was,
Yeah.
and then I got over it in about 5 minutes.
Well, I was just angry
long
because
time.
it was Mario instead of Sonic.
For fuck's sake.
Stupid.
So
Nintendo.
how would that work? Would they be in fursuits? Would it?
Oh, I hadn't thought it all the way through. Although I guess only one of them has to be because we already have well established
You're done talking, John.
human hedgehog
done
sexual
talk-
relations.
What would she do? Jump up and pull
Turn-
on the ring?
oh, okay, Steve, you need to turn off John's mics. Mike, no.
Curses.
So Uncharted 3, good game, decent game.
How would you know?
Uncharted 2 was like game of the year or something, right? So 3 is probably pretty
Yeah,
good.
Sold
game
a
of the year.
lot
What,
of copies of that.
2008, 2009?
Yeah, recently.
So next up, Wii 2. So
Wii 2 what?
well, the Wii 2, the second version of the Wii Wii 2 Electric Boogaloo, whatever.
We too. That sounds like a Benny Hill joke.
Yeah, so Nintendo is announcing this device for E3 in June, and it may have better graphic prowess than the Xbox 360, PS3. Might be in HD, 3D. Developers are saying they have dev kits for it. The controller might have sparkles or
touchscreen.
blow bubbles or have a
It'll shoot
television or
fire from your eyes and lightning
or
bolts
be
from
like
your
one of
arse.
those little lenticular things or like
I
one of
heard they
those
were
old
talking
Tiger
about it.
handhelds.
Well, they were talking about today on one of the sites I went to that said it's supposed to have a touchscreen controller and be like using your iPhone on your Wii. So we'll see. There's
They-
a lot of speculation right now. There's nothing that's ever been
Really?
really released.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I've
So,
heard-
I haven't heard any.
So
Everything I've heard has been solidly founded and sourced and cited.
Oh, well, it's Nintendo. I hope
Yeah.
so.
you know, Brian's a video game journalist.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah.
So
I go home and put my costume on.
Huh?
there's a costume.
Oh yeah.
That's when he turns into a
When you get
superhero.
official,
Oh, well,
you get a little press hat. And
Yeah.
there are actually people from like Kotaku and Joystick with like a little hat with like press on it.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a nickel, kid. Tell me what the news is. Hey,
This-
there's a Wii, and ships are sinking at sea. Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Kaiser is on the move.
Oh, so
Europe is forming a union.
before we go on to the next bit, John, you want to get any Wii jokes
No,
out now?
just
No.
speculation. I
So
bet
you're
this will be
speculating on the
backwards
second Wii?
compatible. 'Cause
Well,
I bet this is going to be their move to never actually cut the goddamn price of the Wii. They'll just come out with the new one. And
dude, they
Oh,
cut
no,
the
they
price
already
on the
cut
Wii.
price. Yeah, $30.
Yeah, it went down to 169 like 2 weeks ago.
Because they want you to be, save up your money for the $300 or $400 price tag
There-
next time.
There was a bunch of people on FARC for this particular thread that were, God damn it, I just bought a Wii.
Yeah, I
There were
know.
a bunch of people that did that.
Well,
I was like, well, what did you expect? Seriously.
It's going to happen to everybody sooner or later. You just go and buy it, and a week later, somebody drops the price.
If the price has been the same for a really long time, and then the manufacturer drops it, the other shoe is dropping at some point in the near future. So,
I can usually tell because you notice when the current generation thing shows up on Woot, then you know they're clearancing everything out before the new model comes out.
oh. So, do you have any interest in buying a Wii now that it's getting cheaper?
No,
Oh, okay.
I bought a Kinect. It's super awesomer.
Super awesomer.
Yep.
Really? So you can flail in HD?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw a rumor today talking about Microsoft may adapt the Kinect to work on the next OS.
That would make sense.
That would be
Yeah.
kind of cool, though, on your
Oh.
PC. Hell yeah.
there was a really cool thing on,
I
I
like
think it
play
was
some
on
FPS games with that.
Japaninator.
Japanator.
That's what it is.
Japan.
Fuck, I don't know. But
Yes,
it's
you
somebody,
read these and they turn you
Japaninator.
somebody made
Japanese.
made a Ghost in the Shell homebrew game with the Kinect.
Oh
where
yeah,
you
that thing was
chase-
sweet.
You chase Tachikomas through this VR environment that looks like it's from Standalone Complex. It's pretty cool.
Huh.
And the music was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
How do you control it?
By leaning forward, leaning back, all this sort of stuff.
Your body is the
on the
direction, yeah.
bottom they had a thing. I mean, they didn't really explain it real well, and it was in Japanese, so that might have been a problem too. But there was a circle on the floor, and you could step in different places, and it like knew where you stepped for like moving down and moving up and that sort of thing. So it was in 3D.
Okay.
So
Your body was the controller.
it was pretty cool. And what you had to do is you had to you use your hand to like basically throw the stuff at the Tachikoma to try to catch the Tachikomas. Pretty neat.
Cool.
So I
But you
know,
needed to have like this gigantic projection set up. It was like a V in front of you, and like so like it was very it wasn't something that you.
doesn't
but
sound
you
like
would want
the
to try it
average
out,
home
Steve.
setup.
Is
No.
basically what you're saying.
This is a 50-inch or bigger.
Well, they didn't have a TV. They actually had projectors.
Oh, they just put it.
They had two screens that were like in a
okay.
V in front of you, and then they projected it onto the screens.
So it's kind of peripheral in a way.
Yeah, they tried to make it like somewhat.
Huh.
I remember there was
Immersive.
one company that did that with you could actually buy a home parabolic screen,
Oh yeah,
and then
I do remember that actually. Now you mention it,
yeah,
it didn't go anywhere.
I'm
I was kind of
assuming it's not
psyched.
cheap.
I don't know if I told you last time, but I was looking through games on the 360. I was looking for some stuff in there specifically, and I saw a little release blog for Steel Battalion. It was supposed to be coming out for the Kinect sometime this year.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
yeah. Don't you remember it was supposed to be like a Kinect launch title?
So what? So,
Yeah, it was
so,
announced a long time ago. So long we all forgot about it.
so if you want to eject, what do? Just run out of the room real fast, or how does that work?
Perhaps.
That would make a lot of sense. That would be very Steel Battalion-ish. You have to like go hide under your covers or something.
Yes,
You dive behind the.
you've got a second and a half to jump out of the range of the Kinect. Otherwise, you die with the exploding mag.
That would suck.
Yeah.
And it erases your save file.
Yep, and it erases your save.
So just get a couple little cones and put them in your put 'em in your living room at the,
So you
the
know where
end
it
point
is.
of where it views and
Yeah.
say I've got to get my body past
Yeah.
that point when I think I'm gonna blow.
Yep.
So, I'm sure you're still looking forward to Child of Eden, even though it's going to be delayed until 2013.
And now to Eden, yea, brothers.
John?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sounds great.
That was a great conversation. Next up, No More Heroes Red Zone edition for PS3. It's based off the Old Spice deodorant that, oh no, wait. Is that what you were thinking? Okay, well.
First thing I thought when I read that, I'm like, oh yeah, it's new Spice.
Is this still a waggle game? It's just on the PS3 now.
It's
Well-
controller based right now, and it's supposed to add move support at some point.
So
Okay.
they already came out with No More Heroes for the PS3 that you could play with a normal controller, which was reportedly better. This is the re-release that lets you play with the Move controller.
Uh-huh.
And to make up for making the controls lamer, apparently they added a mode with way more panties.
Well,
Well,
make everything
you know,
better.
Releases here in the U.S. at the end of the year.
I don't.
Well, also
I
it has
don't see
5
how-
extra bosses, like a multiplayer
Extra
mode,
panties.
and is Z-rated, so it actually has all the blood and everything. in
As
it.
it's moe, more moe for more
Moai.
gaming pleasure. Yeah,
So more panties means more good.
Or moe for moi.
yeah.
So thanks for sharing that, John.
I've been looking forward to playing this, and I've been a long time waiting for this to come to a not retarded console.
Okay. So why are you wanting to play it on the PS3?
Well, because it's not a Capcom game, so he will be able to play it.
Oh.
At PS3.
Oh yeah. We're getting to that. So next up, King of Fighters 13 coming to consoles, which would interest well, it won't interest John. It'll interest Brian
Yes.
because we do like
Slightly.
our complicated fighting moves.
Oh, Jesus. Yes. Give me more.
Well, King of Fighters.
My thumbs are not bleeding.
King of Fighters 13 has a number in it. It's not like King of Fighters Tag or something, or
Like Tekken? Yeah.
Zabungle.
King of Fighters a bungle.
Yeah.
We're just gonna start adding random
Yep.
anime series after every
Yes.
Japanese franchise.
Yeah,
Next
yeah.
up, Final Fantasy Most PETA.
Yeah.
It's what they do.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
You know they got a wall up there and they're just throwing shit
Yeah.
on it.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you're like, huh? And other times you're like, that's a pretty cool name. You know?
It's kind of like
Sometimes-
it's kind of like what Gynax does. It's like, yeah, this kanji hasn't been used in 300 years. Let's use this.
Yeah.
So how much wall space do you need to tack up 300 years of kanji?
Mm,
It's got to be a big ass dartboard.
yeah, it's all electronic now.
Yeah.
It's done through random number generator.
Yeah.
Yeah, they use like the Connect. Swatting at an invisible wall.
Yeah.
So next up, the ESRB to automate game ratings. My news bit on this is that ratings will be done through friendly game rating robot named ESRB, but that's not true.
Well, this would be ESRB.
ESRB.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Ghostbuster enemy.
Yes.
So
Comes after that Halloween dude who was really cool.
Oh,
Sam
Wayne.
Hain.
Yeah.
So by automate, does this mean they set up a Mechanical Turk account?
No,
Yes.
no. Well, what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to handle the influx of all the iPhone app and all those games. You know, there's basically it just fill out a list. It's like it has X, Y, Z, and then if it has Z, then you have to fill A, B, and C under Z, and then once they fill that out, then it's supposed to spit
How
out
is
a
this
rating.
not already
so
a
ratings
thing?
by flowchart.
I was-
that's what I
How
was
is this
thinking.
not a thing like 15 years ago?
I don't know.
When they
If
first
yes, go
made,
left.
you
If
know,
no, go right.
you know, when you first were able to make forms for access to 1993 or something.
Yeah,
Really?
I don't know.
Can't they just ask the developers, submit the 5 most offensive screens in your game? We know you know which ones they are.
Because you spent a lot of time in committee making them.
Does this game have hidden code or not?
Well, don't the developers just basically plan to get the rating that they want from day one of development? Why don't they just say, okay, well, what rating do you
Well,
want?
marketing certainly would enjoy it if they were to do that.
Ah,
It'd save a lot of money.
Like, for example, I'm sure that the marketing department for Ken Levine hates him because of the 5 years of different versions of the story that he goes through in order to make one video game.
are you bitter?
No, I'm just saying that, he has no idea what he's doing when he starts and he ends up with a game that everybody loves. So,
Must be rough.
So next up, buy SOCOM 4 used and get fucked. Well, you don't really get fucked, but
Well, unless you're walking out of the store and you get raped for your copy.
well,
Mm.
well.
I'm just
No.
saying.
So basically, SOCOM 4 will let all players access the game's multiplayer portion, as it should, because online play has always been SOCOM's main attraction. But used game buyers will miss out on special guns, game types, and other perks to be added later. To get these features with a used copy of the game, you'll have to buy a $15 activation code.
hasn't this thing already been a thing that they said they were going to do for like at least a year now?
Oh, I think
This is
EA's
not
been
like a
doing
new-
it, haven't it?
Yeah.
EA's been doing it for some of the sports games, I thought.
Yeah.
This
I
is
think
nothing
it's made
new.
it into some of the shooters or something too.
Yeah,
But really, it just means the used game prices get depressed.
Well, I don't know
So-
about that. I mean, GameStop will, if the game sells what you knew 59,
No, they'll sell it for
They'll
just
sell it for
$34. No, they'll throw it for $34 and throw in the $50. I mean, it's not like they're not making money off of that, $34 either.
Yeah.
It's just people get less money for their trade-ins is how this plan works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, worst Korea institutes national curfew for kid gamers, which would be interesting to who lives in Korea here.
Well, they did that for didn't they do it
Bangalore?
Yeah, or Vietnam or something just did that recently too.
China?
I don't
the
know.
internet
China did.
cafes.
Yeah, they
Where they
put
cracked down.
curfews on them, so
So how long is it going to be before they ban the 3DS?
I don't know.
I don't
As
know.
soon as a kid goes blind.
You got to wonder if really the worst thing that worst Korea has to face is kids playing too many video games. Is this the large social problem that it seems to be?
well,
kinda doubt it.
well, it is.
I mean, they're not even banning StarCraft. If they want to increase productivity, just
That's like a
or
national.
start a revolution, one of the two.
That's like a
ban
national
StarCraft.
thing over there, though. It's like apple pie
That's
for
what I
us.
said. They're either going
Well,
they're going to
StarCraft
increase
won,
productivity.
yes.
They're either going to increase productivity or start a revolution, one of the two with that ban. So
Did anybody see that Lego StarCraft siege tank that guy built?
yeah.
No.
Does it
Yeah.
unfold and everything?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's got treads on it and everything. It's all remote control. It pops out, the little sides flip out, and the tank, the weapon actually comes up and moves forward a little bit.
Are we sure it isn't a viral marketing campaign for when they release that next week?
What they're
I
going to
don't
come up
think
with?
so. It was somebody's
What are they
home
going to come up with?
project.
Like
What are they
Lego
releasing next week?
StarCraft?
What are they releasing next week?
Lego StarCraft.
Oh, really?
That's my prediction.
Oh,
Sticking to it.
all right. Possible.
I wouldn't be surprised. Everything else is coming out on Legos.
No, I mean, Murdock was showing me a web page where you can design shit on your own, and they'll sell you custom blocks. So
Oh, that's pretty cool.
it's not cheap.
No, it's not. It is not cheap.
Well, you got to think about how hard it is to make a single mold.
Well,
And then
it's,
it just
No, they
goes
have the
into a
Legos
shelf.
just sitting in a landfill. They just pick it up.
yeah. They got like this big sorter, like those dumbasses that do the gold rush thing. They got just like this big agitator that
yeah.
shakes it through a sieve.
Until it fits that
Yeah,
shape.
yeah.
They just keep certain blocks in the crisper when they're ready to use. Yoink.
They're probably the malformed ones that were screwed up in production
Yeah,
lines for
yeah,
other
they just
things.
keep
They're like,
'em.
oh, that fits that shape.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh,
They
we need
paint
to paint
it.
that.
Oh yeah, I'll charge them $20 for that piece.
Yeah, but seriously, it was not cheap.
It was expensive.
So a 9-volt battery to your brain can improve your gaming.
Well, I know what it does for your tongue.
Wait, what?
Is this like chucked or
Okay, well let me read the
Apply.
news bit here, and then you can make your snarky comments. So from Slashdot, which is a very reliable news source that paid us lots of money to read this, by applying low levels of electrical current to different parts of the brain via electrodes placed on the scalp, University of New Mexico researchers claim to have documented some significant changes in brain activity, which vary depending on the part of the brain targeted. Gamers take note in one experiment in which volunteers were recorded while playing a video war game, those receiving 2 milliamps to the scalp, 1/500th, well, you get the idea, showed twice as much improvement in the game after a short amount of training as those receiving 1/20th the amount of current. I'm sure this is
basically
scientific.
what we need is to apply 40 amps to our head, and we'll be geniuses.
Yeah, we'll call
I
it the
don't
shock,
think that's a good idea,
we'll call it the
Steve.
shock the monkey treatment.
Yes.
Now wait, back up because I think you discovered time travel.
Yeah.
Slashdot?
Yeah.
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 Wow.
Yeah. Slashdot. It still has news that isn't totally covered by libertarian rantings. Which is what happened when
It was
when
buried
It
really
got to that point. That's when I left it about 2 years ago when everything was great. So now you're talking about, FLPGA something or other, or I don't even know. And what does this have to do with libertarianism? I don't know, but there's sure a lot of comments involved with it.
We just need to organize the multiprocessor arrays in
Yes.
a free market.
It's a free market. The invisible hand will move the gates. The
Any
great
more-
chain will pull us into the future.
Geez, not this shit again. Hey, how should I install Linux on my system? Well, that'll get the thread back online, right?
Yeah. The very air you breathe is the product of the sweat of my brow.
So let's see. What are we talking about? Like 30 volts, 40 volts to the scalp? How high do we want to go on this?
I wonder how fast people learn when you apply, a hot iron on every mistake too. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I just don't.
We need to go with one of those those old-fashioned flashlight batteries.
Would it like
12 volts?
the weird 48 volt?
The
No.
12-volt lantern
Yeah,
batteries.
those
Oh.
huge mothers that were like little bricks.
Yeah, they used them for
Yeah,
that.
you use them for experiments in 5th and 6th grade. And
Or to
Would
give
you
little
let-
kids that you didn't want to give them a Coleman lantern so they wouldn't burn their arm off.
yeah, I built an electromagnet out of one of them.
Really?
Yeah,
Is there anything else that you built out of them that you can share on the podcast?
not that I remember,
Oh.
but the magnet was pretty cool.
If you had put that on your head, you would have remembered.
I built a potato out of one of those batteries. Oh,
Wait.
It wasn't.
He created a potato out of thin air
Yeah.
and magnets. Fucking magnets.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure we will be doing some testing on this later on, and we will post the
Yeah,
results
let us
on
know
the
how many
Diehard
batteries you rig up this weekend.
Oh man, I don't know if it would improve any of my game playing. Seriously, I'm sucking hardcore gaming wise.
All right.
So,
Well, I guess we know what kind of games you're playing.
quiet you.
Yes.
so you pick up your copy of Galgun then?
No, I have not picked up Galgun. Well, I'm not going to pick it up now. They censored it. They blocked all the panty shots. They they dropped all the skirts to a low enough level so that when you hit them, you can't see any upskirt shots. So it's pointless. It's a waste of bits and bytes and
what's
shit.
the whole point of that game?
Exactly. It's more enjoyable to do it out in real life.
It's more,
I didn't.
You might as well
no.
just play Dead or Alive at that point,
Oh, geez.
The first one.
or
Well, any of them
really.
actually.
But I
Seems
mean,
like they
there's no
got-
other reason to play that game either.
What? Now, wait a minute. What if they, instead of saying that they're panties, classify them as something else? Then could they get away with showing them, like,
Well, in
Like-
the
like
US,
they're-
they
like
could just
they're-
call them pantsu.
or
And then-
hyperdimensional
and
underoos?
people are like, "Oh, they're showing pants. That's fine."
And in France, it'd be pantaloons.
Yes.
it's not pantaloons.
They'd be just showing them. The ESRB would be like, "Oh, they're just showing pants. There's nothing wrong with showing pants."
Yeah, they're
Oh.
growing young
So-
fashion designers.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure the French for panties is not pantaloons.
I don't know.
They don't
Might as
know
well be.
that.
It has at least a lay or a la in front of it.
Whatever.
Lay pantaloons?
It's not. Moving on. There's some PS3 outage going on or something, so that's news, right?
Still going on.
Yeah, the
still going on.
multiplayer is not working.
So when you get what you pay for news.
Or single player Capcom games.
So
Those
people are bitching
problematic.
about it. Like, you do realize you're getting this for free, right?
Well, you gotta say, there's nothing better that has ever happened to fanboy war garble between Xbox Live fanboys and PSN fanboys. Because I'm fairly certain that we've generated enough electricity between the two of them to last us the rest of the year in the U.S.
Oh dear
And I
God!
like how Sony's taking the scapegoat way out and blaming Anon. Oh, we got
Right.
hacked.
Well, they-
we
And you
got
know what's really
hacked.
funny is Anon is like, it wasn't us.
Yeah,
You know, it's like Anonymous isn't one that's like gonna be like, no, it wasn't us. If
you
they
gotta
actually
love
did
the
it.
fact that they're honest hacker. There's like, no, we did this because of this reason.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we don't care about PlayStation.
Usually Anonymous just, they're going to claim credit for something that they did, and they're like,
They were mad at PlayStation last year for something I remember, but I
It
don't
was
think they
removing
ever
the other
hacked them
OS.
for it. It wasn't that bad of a deal. but
Yeah.
It's not like they're going after a credit card company.
Yeah, I don't know. It's yeah.
Well, if you put your credit card on Sony has said that they do not know if it is compromised or not.
Which is really funny because
Oh,
like
that's such a blow.
that's some good administration there, Lou.
Yeah, we're just gonna take the blame off of this and go over to this other subject you're probably
Yeah.
a little more worried about. That way you forget what you came for.
Well,
I
it's.
don't
I mean,
know,
it's kind of
once again-
it's kind of disappointed. I'm kind of disappointed because I can't go to PlayStation Home and check my character and
Home is
everything.
boring.
I'm,
You need to
I'm-
get out.
Look, I'm trying to set up a joke here, and you keep ruining it.
Uh-huh.
So,
Take it too long.
I think
Ah,
it's your lead up
jeez.
is too long there.
you okay there, John?
Once again, the evidence that Sony's making this shit up as it goes.
Wow.
No comprehensive business plan for PlayStation anything.
Yet their server room is probably fried.
No, there's probably nothing wrong with it. They're probably like, fuck, we needed a reason to actually take this thing down and fix it. Well, it got hacked. That sounds good. All right, turn it off, Joe.
There's probably just some Japanese guy. It's like,
You see that fiber sticking out of that core router there for the PSN network? Just yank that, would you?
Hiroshi,
Yeah.
why'd you do this? Well, I had to plug in, the sweeper.
Yeah.
So,
Somebody's just set a coffee on top of their core router for
the,
PlayStation
the,
network.
that may actually not be too far from the truth.
Sony didn't want to pay for the 2-hour replacement from Cisco, and
Look,
they
they're
got the
u-
5-day replacement
They're not
instead.
using Cisco
only
in
thing
Japan.
they didn't
they're
go
not
for the
using-
warranty on.
They totally use Cisco in Japan. Everybody uses Cisco.
No, they're
They use
using
Cisco or Juniper.
Cyberdyne.
Yeah, right. Cisco or Juniper, one of the two.
They're
That's what
they're
everybody
using
uses.
Shishko.
I guess some
No,
people
it's,
use these HP
it's
routers.
it's
which I've
Yo-Yo
never
Dyne.
really seen.
Isn't that Yo-Yo Dyne?
No, it's not Yo-Yo Dyne either. It's Genom.
You don't want to see their rack mounts. Oh.
No. Oh, we had a little problem with boomers in the server room.
I'm gonna check the server room.
Would be better
All
off
right.
just closing the door.
Just close the
Stay
door.
down.
You still got the number for those girls?
Yeah. Are they certified?
Yes. They're the Night Sabers are
We've written 5
ISO
comics now,
9001
Steve. Let's move
certified.
on.
Did you guys see the Penny Arcade
Yeah.
joke?
It was so important they had to put it up on Friday.
Well, they wanted to put it up on Friday because they thought that PlayStation would be up
Yeah.
over the weekend just in
it's still
case,
young.
but apparently
did
it was
they
not.
know.
Yeah. Apparently it wasn't a problem.
So, next up, well, actually last, and this is from Kotaku. It's not on your list, so don't even bother looking.
Oh no, secret gaming news.
Yeah.
It's totally going to surprise us with something.
No,
We're going to be
Nobody-
unprepared.
Uh,
Not going to have any material written.
no, you'll have plenty of
we're gonna
material
sound
for
like
this.
Jerry Seinfeld up
It's
here.
about Valve.
What the
No.
hell is
Oh, okay.
what's
I
the
got another
deal
bit.
with these video games?
So, WikiLeaks reveals Al Qaeda. Al Qaeda used Sega cartridges for explosives.
How did they spell it? Because there's like a new spelling this year for Al Qaeda.
QUEDA. It's like that Mexican restaurant.
Oh, okay.
El Quidoba.
Oh, queso.
So it was
Okay.
yeah.
El Queso has
See,
attacked.
I would visit that place. But basically, yeah, they're
He's a
using
distant son of Che Guevara.
so they're using Sega cartridges for explosives. So I guess they're misinterpreting
guacamole.
this whole blast processing thing.
Che guacamole.
That was a long way to go for a bad pun.
Yeah.
Look,
yeah.
you know that hole that you put pie in? I need you to shut it.
I'm going with the El Queso and Che guacamole aligning to.
Those you should open up a restaurant
Yeah.
and like name meals after famous revolutionaries.
I could finally put a nail in the coffin of the people wearing Che T-shirts and not knowing what he means.
Che
I gotta-
guacamole.
I got a Che one at home, but it's got Peter from Family Guy on it.
So how would you prepare a Che guacamole? Because I'm waiting for the humor here.
First you find yourself a foreign Latin American country, and then you hang it around in a humid, wet area for a while. Got to be preferably hot, and then you find it and shoot it. So,
All right.
All right. So that was Steve's Food Network.
first you need the quesadilla to try to overthrow your government.
Oh, okay.
That's the hard part.
All right.
That's a queso no.
It's just so bad puns aside, and
This
sounds
communist
Oh,
quesadilla insurgency.
I saw a bit of interesting news too. Valve is saying that they're not going to accept or make any more single-player games.
what?
They're going to make and accept only multiplayer games going forward, which is kind of interesting. Thought
So
that was
Valve
never gonna
or
see
Steam?
Episode 3, huh?
Valve or Steam?
both. Well, Valve owns Steam.
Right, but like not putting any single player on
It's on
Steam.
Valve itself. I don't know if
Then-
that means that they're not going to accept games like third-party games in the future, but I think everything they're making themselves specifically
Oh,
is going to
well,
be
I guess-
multiplayer
No,
going
that's
forward.
that's excellent.
No, that's cool. That's good news for Half-Life because they made a patch some some group of guys made a patch about 3 years after Half-Life came out, Half-Life
That's
2.
the best part of Half-Life.
Where you could
is
actually go
always
through
the
and-
multiplayer.
Oh, it made the game so much better going through it. In
Well, it's not like they're
multiplayer.
going to release episode 3 anyway.
Well, that's the thing is, it's not like we're getting to get any more single player
Yeah.
content ever again. So
I like the game in single player, but having 2 friends and running through it, I thought it was just even more fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so Portal 3 multiplayer.
Only.
Yeah. Well, has anyone
Plus,
played
you
Portal
ever
2,
see
by the
it?
way?
Playing it.
Oh.
That's really
Oh,
like
yeah, I
the first
saw you
little chunk
playing
of
it
it
the
on
other
there. Amazon had a great pre-order deal. I couldn't turn it down. It's like $5 off.
Did you have to
one-day
play that like
shipping and
potato
$20
game
off
on
another
Steam or
purchase.
something
Oh, they
like
gave
that?
another $20 coupon? Awesome.
Yeah. What?
Did you
Potato game?
Did you get a
Yeah.
hat?
No.
No hats.
Wasn't there like
I
some
bought the
sort of
360 version.
so you didn't buy it on Steam where you had to like play some potato game in order to unlock it or something like that?
And I didn't
What?
play it on the PS3 because apparently at that point I remembered that the PS3 sucked and wasn't worth whatever bonuses they were providing.
Ah, I see.
Amazon's got some cool deals. If you do it right, you can actually get a game and get that $10 or $20 discount with every game, and it keeps rolling forward, so you never pay full price for a game after that first one. I've had some pretty good luck so far.
So are you gonna pick up Portal 2?
I don't know. I'm still on the wall. I still haven't finished Portal 1.
Oh,
Oh. You should do that.
Yeah,
It's a good
I've been
game.
thinking about doing it. It's like, I got a list of games on Steam that I need to finish. I just started playing Shadow Project on 360.
good lord.
That's an awesome game. I've actually been having a lot of fun with it.
Oh, you mean not Shadow Project? You mean Shadow Complex?
Or
Shadow
Complex.
Complex.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
the Metroid clone.
Oh.
That's a really good game.
It's a lot of fun. I think I beat like 80% of it yesterday alone, but
It's a little buggy, but it's a
Yeah.
great game.
I had one little bug glitch, but I got stuck on the wall against one of those Goombas, those Boombas.
Hey, you know, you're
yeah,
kind of
you
stuck in the wall.
The Goomba's got to stick you to the wall.
You know, you
stuck
pay me
there.
good money, I'll
Hey,
get you out.
Hey,
I just shot the thing and blew it up, and it blew me off the wall. So
Oh,
I was
okay.
okay, but it was the weirdest glitch I'd seen in the game so far. But otherwise, it's
I
been
got
pretty good.
stuck on the end battle where I had to like reload an earlier save because one of the missiles would just kind of like launch up into the air and it would sort of just get stuck up there and never really blow up, and then the other one wouldn't respawn, so you could try and launch it again. It was
Oh,
really
That's
lame.
really awesome.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
Ah.
I really like Shadow Complex.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be making a sequel to that game.
I think I bought it when there was a sale on it, and I completely forgot about it because I was going through all the games on my arcade and indie list, and I was like, "Oh crap!
I just
I
put it on
bought that."
sale again. Like last week, it was 400 points again.
Jeez. I don't know what I paid for, but I know I bought it on sale.
Well, you didn't
for that
pick up
weekend.
any of the Sonic game, any of the Sega games that were on special.
No.
No, you're the Genesis guy. You didn't want to pick up like Crazy Taxi for 400?
Well, that would be
could've
the
just pulled out the
Dreamcast there.
Dreamcast.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think it was just Genesis stuff like Altered Beat. Oh, wait, Fantasy Star 2,
After
400 points.
Was the
Yeah, I
Afterburner on
already
sale
own
too?
like 3 copies of that goddamn game. I don't need it.
Yeah, but now you can get achievements.
Sweet.
yeah, that's so
The
worth going
achievement
through
was
another
having 3
50
copies of
hours
Fantasy
of
Star
it.
2.
50 Fantasy Star 2?
Yeah,
Man, I
that's a
think you're
long
like
time.
off by half.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
I'm thinking online. Never mind.
And that's if you have the hint book that came
Yeah.
with it in front of you, so you know how to get through all those goddamn
That was
mazes.
freaking long.
Yeah.
Game.
And it was not easy. I don't remember that game being easy.
No.
It was easier than the Dragon Warrior that came out on the NES.
Oh, the Dragon Warrior games were all hard, and we only saw half of them over here.
I don't know. That first one, I spent a whole crap ton of time killing slimes as my 8-year-old self, and I got bored of it then. So I can't see
Yeah,
myself going back to it now.
Yeah, I beat that game. I was very proud of myself and then never wanted to speak of it again.
Then
My
you
mom-
realized that you had spent your entire youth playing Dragon Warrior.
No, I spent my entire youth trying to get, Golgo to shoot that guy in the window.
Yeah, yeah.
The helicopter's like, okay, seriously, guys, what are you doing? And then you see him and it's like having sex with that woman. I'm like, I'm 8 years old and what is this?
yeah. Well, I'm on record.
And then you get your health back. How does that work?
I'm well on record of wondering why the hell they chose to release Golgo 13 when they did for the NES. It was a very strange marketing thing.
Kind of the Custer's last stand of its time.
It really didn't fit in with any of the other games that they released at that time with the NES.
Yeah.
It was very strange.
And it had those weird 3D maze levels.
Yeah,
like-
I remember that.
Yeah, and it's like you can't find your way through any of this, and then you get to relive the whole thing over again when you play Fester's Quest. I was really pissed off with that. Oh, I forgot about that game.
Yeah,
I think I still have it on cartridge. Oh, dear God. So, anything else you want to share?
No.
I know you're looking forward to the new Sonic, right?
No.
John wants a new Blood game.
Are you looking forward to anything?
No.
Really? No,
That's-
seriously.
At this point, I think I'm so uninformed about video games. No, wait, there's
Well-
Elder Scrolls 5. I can get excited
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that.
Is that Skyrim?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it might be the only thing I know of coming out that I'm excited about.
I mean, anything new on the Kinect?
Who is
I haven't heard about anything
I-
that's new is coming out for it.
I
I'm sure there's
imagine-
stuff, I just don't know.
I imagine Bethesda is publishing the Elder Scrolls, but who's the studio?
Manufacturer.
They've never farmed out the
Elder Scrolls?
stuff, so I'm
Oh.
hoping they keep it internal.
Mm.
Because man, after playing New Vegas, I'm looking forward to the absolutely bug-free product that is the
Yeah, okay.
standard.
My-
See, the thing
You
is
might-
about those sort of games is like I have a real hard time playing them on consoles because I know there's going to be a million awesome mods for them on the PC.
You know, my problem with those games has never been lack of content.
That was my problem with Oblivion was lack of caring. I just couldn't get into that.
You know, there's a
I
patch.
tried
for
like
that.
4 times to get in it, and I got the 4th time I got about 2 hours into the game, and then I spent like 4 hours waiting for a guy to actually walk in front of his door so that I could see what door it was
What?
that he had. You have to wait for this guy to leave his house, right, in order to steal something
Isn't
from
there
him,
like?
right?
Can't you like fast forward time? Like
No.
you can't.
Well, you
know-
have to see where the guy. You have to follow him all around until he gets to his place, and then you have to wait for him to get out, so you can go in and figure out what you're doing. It like takes for freaking ever.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
That
just
doesn't
not great.
sound fun.
Not great. I'm not the only one I've talked to. I've talked to more than a couple people that were like, I really liked Oblivion, or I really wanted to like Oblivion because it seemed like such a cool premise, and then just kind of didn't care.
I think the part that's really worked for me in liking all of the Elder Scrolls games is I have yet to finish the main quest line on any of them.
Well, that's the other commonality is like you started, most of the folks I talked to started on the main quest line and said, oh, this is kind of interesting over here. What's this about? Oh, what's that about? And then you kind of like, oh,
Doesn't that game have like one of the largest overworlds like ever?
yeah, Oblivion wasn't
No.
very big.
Oblivion is
Really?
actually pretty small,
Really?
Morrowind had a pretty big world.
which was still way smaller than Daggerfall. It just,
Well,
actually had stuff
It actually
in
worked.
It
It was a world that was functional.
That goes a lot into a game.
But the worlds have consistently gotten smaller for the Elder Scrolls games, but more detailed. Which is probably
That's a
good
trade-off, yeah.
And believe it or not, the bug level has gone down because Daggerfall was probably the most buggy game I've ever heard of.
Didn't that have like 200 patches?
Well, it was playable at about 110.
Oh, jeez.
So, and that was
Would that be like
in
Service Pack 3?
95. You know, where are you getting these patches in 1995? You're pulling them down over a modem.
I think I got mine off Prodigy.
Yeah. The first time I saw that game actually playable was the first year I was up in in Duluth for college. 2 years after it got released, I saw somebody actually playing it and it be functional.
Get to the part where you pee.
It was awesome. And then there was like another 60 patches after that or something like that.
I don't know
Oh,
if they got to 300, but I remember high 200s. for
There was a lot of patches. It wasn't as much as like Battle Cruiser 3000.
Oh, for
that had a crap ton of patches too.
So anything else you want to share?
That's when beta testing started.
Is like
Yeah, so you would buy
Phantasmagoria
it,
coming out
and
on
they
the
would have
3DS? Anything? Why are you looking at me like that?
He wants you to tell him yes, there's something else because he hasn't looked at.
Well, no, I was talking about Phantasmagoria coming out on the 3DS, and then John just gives me this weird. Really, Murdock? You're gonna go there?
FMV, man.
Wave of the
FMV.
future.
I did read that they
You know,
sold.
Sewer Shark would look pretty freaking awesome on the 3DS.
They sold 3.61 billion or 61 million 3DS units
What?
already.
Oh, jeez.
It's ridiculous how many of those they've pumped out.
I really hope that you just start being able to recognize all the 3DS owners because they're all walking around cross-eyed.
Oh,
Yeah. Their eyes just kind of point out over here, like
It's gonna
fish
be like
people.
that Steve Martin movie from the '80s, yeah.
All right. Well, that will do it for Die Hard Gamer Radio because I think I've beaten this horse. So join
That's
us.
your gaming problem right there.
Uh,
Spending all your time beating horses, you're gonna suck at games.
maybe we'll just call them Innsmouth syndrome people. They'll have eyes that go.
Well, that would be
What?
awesome though, because then you get like independent eyeballs.
Yeah.
Who hasn't wanted that?
Well, yeah,
Can I Photoshop that?
and gills.
Independently.
Is there like a fish that has like eyeballs like that?
Well, I think they all kind of have eyeballs like that.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. Well, thank you for listening to Die Hard Eyeball Radio.
Fish
All
eyeball,
eyeballs.
eyeball.
All the time.
Yeah. Stay tuned for your next program, Benny Hill.
No, we want to follow with something funny. And as you've told me many times,
The P in cool is silent.
Thank you for listening to Die Hard Gamer Radio. You can visit our website at diehardgamerradio.com and iTunes, or you can email us at diehardgamerradio@gmail.com.